Hi, I'm Carol Friedrich.
And I'm Raymond Friedrich.
And we're from Gastonia, North Carolina. We moved there just about a year ago. We were living in Florida before then. And we started vanning probably the year 2012 when we got our first van, which was different than this one here. Some of the things we've done to the van is we've put the aluminum in the windows. The aluminum, we got the idea from another vanner friend of ours, and it helps keep it insulated as well as keeps it very nice and dark at nighttime. If you want it, we'll go to the side and show you. Now on the inside, you can see how the aluminum fits in the windows. I had it cut, or we cut it so it would fit right in the windows and in the windshield. So at nighttime you have all the privacy you need. It's got lots of neat pockets on the sides of the doors, so we can put maps in there and little notes or flashlights, things like that are very handy when you're in the middle of the night trying to find things. You know exactly where they're at. Now, this van, we've put our little United States map on the van on the window, so you can see where we've traveled, and it even surprises us sometimes as to how many states we've gone to. We haven't missed too many of them. There's a few out west, and then we have a few up in the north area that we have left to go to, and then we will have seen all the United States except Hawaii. It might be kind of tricky getting the van to Hawaii, but we'll give it a shot. Now on the inside, we're a real big Redskin fan, so you'll notice throughout the video that we've got a lot of Redskin memorabilia. We've got Redskin pictures. We've got done the curtains and the bedspreads. We even have pictures of our, at that time, 4 grandchildren that are in their Redskin outfits. Now in this van, we have lots of good space. I've got a clothes closet, a drawer underneath. We've got a pantry. It's got the toilet area. It doesn't have a shower. The shower is on the outside if you really wanted to take a shower. But we have so many nice places we go vanning that we have good facilities to use showers, so it's not really a problem for us.
It also has a generator that we could use, you know, if we in an area where there's no power, that we could turn on. Has a heat pump, which you can, plus a gas heater if the heat pump's not operating correctly. And
it's very good to go camping in. We've taken it all the way to Alaska this past summer. We and a friend of ours took a trip from the Nats, and we kept on continuing on up through Canada into Alaska. It did very well. We were real happy with it. And this is our little bathroom that we have. It's just got the toilet in there, but hey, in the middle of the night, that's what you need. On the other side, I've got a pantry, which I just absolutely love. There's not a lot of vans that had pantries in them. As I said earlier, it does not have an indoor shower, but that's not really an issue for us. This is our little sink that we have. It's just perfect for washing what few dishes I have when we're camping. And then from there, I can move this over, and I've got my 2-burner stove, propane. And then below that, we have our little refrigerator. It actually has a freezer in it. The only thing it doesn't have an exhaust fan, but we have this vent in the top of the roof that does help when you've got your gas stove on, because I do suggest with a gas stove that you have some kind of ventilation of some kind. As my husband was talking about earlier, this is our air conditioner heater unit. It does cool off in here very well. If it gets too hot, what I'll usually do is I'll close my curtains that I made for here, and it helps keep the air conditioner just in this area here instead of wasting it throughout the entire van. That we found was a very big help when it's very, very hot in Florida.
And you changed all the lights to LED?
And my husband did change them to LEDs. We also, I forgot to say, we have the TV, but we also have an antenna that you can crank it up Just have to remember to uncrank it when you're going down the street. We've seen several vans that did not. It's just real little right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we do have an in the van CD player or DVD player. There you can see our pictures of my first time we went to a Redskins game. And here's my Redskin babies. And there's my Redskin babies. I'm sure my daughter-in-law wouldn't mind us showing them off. We now have a fourth one, so we're going to have a remake of this picture. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, the bed could be all the way into a king-size bed, but we opted to have the two bench parts showing so we can sit on them when we're eating dinner or whatever. It does come in handy a little bit because there's not really any place to sit. We don't have a table and a bench to sit on, so we do sit there. And then I also have, I forgot to mention because I only discovered it this last year, was I have an extra countertop. I was complaining to my husband about not having extra counter space because I had so much stuff piled in front of it, I never saw it. And that's very helpful. It kind of extends your countertop. Because one thing in a little camper like this, it's hard to find enough counter space. So, and these are our closets that we keep folded clothes in. Part of our equipment we need to have when you're on the road is you need to have you know, a little like your jumper cables, your toolboxes. We have our little containers for oil, gas, and water. Different people use different kinds of containers. We just thought it would be funny to use those. We have our flashlights. Then we also are pretty proud of this. At this past year's Nats, we actually got our first big trophy for a camper van, a Chevy camper van. So we were pretty proud of that. Now you'll see on the side of the van we have different vents and things. My husband will talk about those.
This one here is for the gas heater if we ever need it when we do not have power and we're in a cold area. We have our outlets here for electrical so we can plug in lights and whatever else. And we have a switch inside which turns on the outside exterior light here.
And then we also have lots of nice storage underneath. We also have the awning. The awning across the top is fairly easy to take down. You have a little arm thing that you rotate it around to pull the awning out, and then it's got two legs, and they will either hook. You can either stand them up on the ground, or you can hook them up through the little hooks on the sides of the van. Also, this van we like, it's got very nice tinted windows for the back where your sleeping area is at. So it does help it stay a little bit darker, although I have added the curtains to it to make it even darker. Most of the time we're in pretty dark areas, it's not a problem, but sometimes if it's a little bright, it's a little harder to sleep. On the back of the van we've put our decal. We had a gentleman put the decal on for Florida Van Council. We're very proud of being part of that organization. Now in the back we have the double doors, which is very nice. Makes it very accessible to get underneath the bed. This van actually comes with it's got the bench seat all the way around that you can convert into the bed. So we keep the bed down permanent, and then what we did, we had a mattress made for the top of it. So it's got a nice pillow top mattress on the top here, and then underneath is where we store the tire now. Originally the van came with a tire rack on one of the back doors, but the people who owned it before us had it removed. Then my husband keeps all his extra cords and things like that underneath there. So there is some storage even if the tire does take up quite a bit. Inside there's plenty of lighting. We have lights all over the place. We have storage right above our bed. There's for clothing on both sides, or whatever you want to store in it. We prefer to use our clothing. It also came with the television in the corner there. And then at the very end, because we didn't make this bed can be anywhere from a twin bed to a king size bed. but the bed would actually touch up to the countertop, and we didn't want it to be quite that big. I don't want to serve breakfast in bed on a permanent basis, so we decided to keep it so we have like a little bench on both sides.
With this?
We've towed a utility trailer with this that we had to move furniture from Florida up to North Carolina, and it pulled it very well. We didn't have any problem at all. On this side of the back of the van is our hot water heater. The exhaust comes through here and everything, but you can get accessible to it. This is my little thermometer that I put in here to see what the outside temperature is during the weather. Right down here is where the electrical plugs up. You can put TV antenna here and your water here, and it also has storage for your sewer hose. And then once you move down to the next compartment, this compartment here is where you drain your sewer or your gray water, and right here is where your utility shower is. This right here is just storage. This little compartment here is where you put in your water for
Filling up your tank.
for showers or for whatever you want to use for it.
Dishes.
Yes.
The toilet.
Yes. And that's about it over this side.
I wish we had known about vanning years ago, because we've been camping probably for 40 years. We started out when our children were very young. We started with a tent, went to the pop-up, went to different travel trailers. We actually had a high-low at one time, and then the kids had grown. It was just my husband and I, and it's like, what can we do that we can still go camping and yet have it easier for us? It was getting to be a little bit hard to get all this stuff up and down and him pulling it. So we came across vanning, talking to a friend of mine, and she says, you should have gotten into this. The vanning is a great way to meet people. It doesn't require a lot. You just pull it in somewhere, you park it, and you're good to go. And we have really enjoyed the last 5 years we've been doing this. Like I said, I wish we'd done it years ago, but this is working out for us just great.
This Chevrolet van has a 4.8 liter engine in it, which is a small V8, and it's got a 6-speed automatic transmission. We drove this through the mountains and we have no problem with it. It just has a lot of pep. It loves to be revved up and go fast.